Hello, I am the artificial avatar of Luca Bolognini, a European data lawyer, and something more. This is a collection of metaphorical legal reflections published around 2022 and 2023 in a newsletter I curated with weekly punctuality and which is loved by a few thousand readers. Thus, the journey began with The Art of Privacy, a small booklet of mine with a happy and unexpected outcome, published in 2021 and later translated into English and Spanish. In the same spirit of that booklet, I invite you to imagine together new legal allegories between art and rules, contemporary rights and ancient paintings, and vice versa, exploring nonconformist compliance, reinterpreting the meaning of precepts and customs in color, freeing ourselves from the collector's enclosure of specializations, with open eyes and a willingness to discover beauty in regulations and legality in creativity. Always with the spontaneous and naive curiosity of a child pointing to the newborn Maria to the nursemaid, while all around the implementation of the organizational support model for Anna is underway, in the formidable birth of the Virgin by Giulio Romano, which I already recounted in The Art of Privacy. I will keep you company with brief reflections and insights, innuendos, allusions, illusions, outside the usual patterns and predefined margins. And now, let's get to the heart of this first episode, talking about art, soul, and privacy. The essence of art is an infinite confidentiality. As soon as I read this powerful phrase in a 1967 edition of Double Life, the autobiography of the great and controversial German poet Gottfried Benn, I confess I was left speechless and with some regret in my heart. It happened in November 2021, when I had already finalized and handed over the second drafts of The Art of Privacy to the publisher, so the feeling was that I had missed a perfect opportunity to enrich my booklet. Now I can make up for it with you. It happened that, on that very autumn day filled with trivial regrets, the Italian publisher Adelphi had just released a new edition of Double Life, edited by Emilia Voltolina. Here the same phrase is translated differently. The essence of art is an infinite reserve. And to be honest, this translation seems more faithful to the meaning intended by the poet, who always viewed his artistic commitment as a private gesture, almost an intimate one, without political significance. Benn composed in secret, or at least without making it a matter of external and public importance, while living a life as an officer in barracks and on the field. Note well, obviously Gottfried Benn wanted to be published, and he participated in various ways, even polemically, in the cultural debates of his time, although he was convinced that history was not made by art but by canons and violent ruptures. With thought now, one no longer reaches things, he wrote. All this while, Nazism and the Second World War upheaved and dragged people's lives into horror, including intellectuals and artists. Legally speaking, he might have claimed the utmost privacy for the imaginative and creative phase of an ideal product, his poetry, which, paradoxically, was destined for the opposite fate of fame, publicity, and public discussion. However, in Benn's case, it was less about an aspiration to protect the poet's secret from an intellectual professional perspective than about the need to respect his most personal inner spaces. What remained a private matter, infinitely confidential indeed, to be cared for and shielded, was for him the creative moment. His essential artistic soul, often melancholic and mysterious, to paraphrase in letters the touching work by Munch titled Evening. Melancholy, which you can see exhibited at the Munch Museum in Oslo. What utility or futility can we derive, as enthusiasts of the legal field in this data-driven era, from Benn's evocative words? I believe many, and none in particular, except that, with the protection of data and individuals' privacy, we also take care to protect their creative soul and, together, the limited, fragile representability of that soul, not a trivial profession. An almost poetic craft, very delicate, exposed and prepared on the surface to defend inner depths. Thank you for following this first episode of Painted Privacy. See you soon for the next.